This project uses chenille stems, or as they were called when I was a kid, pipe cleaners. These directions are for a miniature dollhouse wreath that is approximately 2 inches across. Wrap 4 chenille stems around a small bottle. Take the first chenille stem and ease the ends of the curl until you have a circle about 1 inch across. Twist each end around the chenille stem to make the base of the wreath. Cut around 2 feet of embroidery floss that matches the chenille stem. You will need an additional length later, but if you start with too long a length, it may tangle. If you want to have a hidden or discreet loop to hang your wreath, you should make one at this point with the matching embroidery floss. Tie a tiny loop on one end of the floss. Position it on the base. Take a chenille stem and position one end on top of the loop. Wrap the floss around the base and the second chenille stem 4 or 5 times. Hold the end of the second chenille stem down with one thumbnail. With your other thumbnail, pinch a bend in the chenille stem. It should be a small bend. Just a bit over 1/4 inch is good. Here's what the pinched bends look like on a straight chenille stem. After each bend, wrap the floss around both chenille stems to secure them together. You'll be making a lot of these bends before the wreath is done. Wrap the floss around the other side of the bend you just made so that it's secured to the base of the wreath. Keep pinching bends into the chenille stem. The closer you position the bends, the fuller your final wreath will look. You most likely won't make it all around the wreath base with the second chenille stem. When you get to the end of the second chenille stem, turn the sharp wire end towards the base so it will be less likely to prick someone's fingers. Lay the next chenille stem against the back of the wreath next to where you finished the last chenille stem. Tightly wrap the floss around the chenille stem, then start pinching and securing bends in the wire again. When you finish the first layer of pinched boughs, start a second layer. Try to wrap this second layer as tightly against the base as you can. That is, try to find the spaces between the boughs so that the embroidery floss is reaching the base, not flattening the first layer of pinched boughs. When you finish the third chenille stem, finish it off the same way as before and start the next one. You should be able to finish the second layer of boughs. You can either clip off the chenille stem or start overlapping with the third layer. If you decide on the third layer, give a bit more space between the bends so that the placement of the boughs of the wreath isn't uneven. Tie off the embroidery floss. At this point, arrange the boughs so that the wreath is fluffy. When you're done, flip the wreath over and dab glue over any sharp wire ends and knots that you tied into the embroidery floss. Use beads, ribbon, and cutouts to decorate the wreath. How to tie a fork bow. Fold a length of ribbon over a fork. The end under the fork should be longer than the end above the fork. Bring the bottom end up over the top end. Push it between the middle space between the tines. Bring the end back up through the middle space.